Hello there, welcome to this special Designed by show with myself, Carol, and with the lovely Linda. Linda, you've been cooking up a storm with this one.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Love it. Absolutely love it.
Electric Storm.
Love it.
Wow, electric... Do you like what I did there? Yeah. Electric Storm. This is beautiful. You're going to be getting some seriously stunning gemstones in here, and we're going to be following the entire technique from beginning to end for this incredible necklace that we're going to see in a few seconds that Linda has made. Now, you've got a gorgeous strand of crackled quartz. It's like a lightning bolt inside a gemstone. Gorgeous crackled white quartz, 6mm faceted rounds. Really, really beautiful. For everybody who loves their labradorite and hematite, you have come to the right place this afternoon or this morning, whenever this is played out, because you've got the most gorgeous strand of hematite here. This gorgeous metallic genuine gemstone. It literally looks like an incredible electrical storm, doesn't it? It's just gorgeous. Look at this. Amazing metallic luster. Ooh, gorgeous. You're then going to be getting a stunning strand of labradorite. These are 8mm rounds. A gorgeous, almost khaki green, silvery gemstone with these amazing optical properties going through it. Labradorescence, it really is tremendous. This gorgeous optical property. A glow. A wonderful yellow, green, blue glow coming from these gemstones. It's a natural optical property. It's called labradorescence. And you've got your rounds. You've got your two, equivalent of 2 strands here of nuggets. And again, because these are slightly more irregular sizes and shapes, and because you're going to be getting far more edges, you should be able to see this labradorescence even more. It's really amazing, isn't it? Gorgeous blues, these electric blues are stunning. So we're already up to 1, 2, 3, well, the equivalent of 5 strands here, which is really impressive. Then, how about some gems of distinction labradorite? Look at this, hand-faceted quality. Look at that. Again, the labradorescence is so strong on this strand. These are beautiful faceted rondelles. They're approximately 6x2 to 10x6mm in diameter. Beautiful, stunning, chunky rondelles here. And I've got one more strand, believe it or not. Yeah, I know. This is another strand of labradorite. Again, gems of distinction. And look at the size of these. Absolutely gigantic, aren't they? I mean, these are tremendously big. Huge, massive nuggets here. There are the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the equivalent of 7 strands in this collection. It's huge. Most of it's taken up with labradorite, gems of distinction labradorite. Then you've got your hematite, your crackled white quartz. I can't wait to see the jewellery that Linda's made with this. It's absolutely stunning collection of gems. Today, everything here, so your 2 gems of distinction strands, another couple of strands of labradorite, then your hematite, then your crackled white quartz. Everything here today, have a look at your price. $54.95. Oh my word. That is just incredible. The blues, the greens, the apricots, the pinks, the purples you are going to get from this labradorite is electrifying. And because we've got so much to get through in this half-an-hour show, I'm going to head straight over to Linda. Linda, you have got some amazing taste in gemstones. These are incredible quality labradorites, aren't they?
Well, when I first started working for Jewellery Maker, I couldn't pronounce that word.
Labradorite.
Yeah, and when I saw these big, faceted, glowing chunks, I taught myself to say labradorite. Because
say it again.
Labradorite. Labradorite.
Labradorite.
Yeah, I taught myself to say it because they are so beautiful, they're so divine, they're so electric that I thought, you know what, it's about time I learnt to pronounce your name properly.
I think you're right, Linda. This is an absolutely incredible piece you've made here. Was this something which is completely organic, or did you have it planned out in your head? Was it an idea that came to you? What
No,
happened?
this is what I call one of my variation on a themes. The idea is there basically, but it didn't turn out in exactly the same way. I was going to have more of a rounded look to the necklace. But when I put all of that centre point together and let it just literally fell like that, and I thought, that's it. I want that at the centre of the necklace.
It's just it's so decadent, Linda. It's beautiful. Now, you're going to take us through this necklace from beginning to end. I wouldn't even have a clue where to start with this.
Right, it's again, it's very simple. This is the best thing to do is to break it up into components. And there are the little chains that you see dangling here. They're the first thing that that I'm going to make, or show you how to make. Excuse me. So we start off with a head pin, and we put one of these divine faceted quartz onto the head pin. Okay, like that. Then taking the round nose pliers, pop the round nose pliers right down by the gemstone, and we're going to do a wrapped loop. So push away, flick the wrist round, bring it back over the top so that you're parallel to where you were, pop the bottom of the plier back into situ, and pull it round. Okay?
Lovely.
We'll just pull that. You can wrap it round if you want to, but I'm just going to stop and trim off my excess there. Okay?
Okay.
So when you've done that, put that one to one side, and then we're going to start on the little hematite. So now we are going to swap to eye pins, because we need the little loop. So, taking one of the eye pins, pop on one of the gorgeous little hematite cubes, okay? And then, holding the eye pin firmly between finger and thumb at the hematite level, just push down onto the gemstone so that you've got a nice right angle. And then just cut off about 1 centimetre and discard your excess. Then just do a simple loop. Around those pliers, pop them in just a little smidge away from the end of the plier. Literally take your wrist as far as it'll go without sort of your elbow going up your nose. Pop the pliers back down and then ease down towards the hematite. So now what we've got here now is 2 eyes.
Lovely.
Okay. So take your flat nose pliers and open the eye that you've just made. Okay, and bring it towards you, exactly the same as doing a jump ring. Bring it towards you, not east to west, but north to south. Okay, pop on the little charm that you've just made using the quartz, and close in exactly the same.
Lovely,
but opposite direction. Okay, so now we've got the start of a gemstone chain. All right. So what we need to make, this is one I've just done. We need to do another 3. Okay, and then we will attach in exactly the same way with the hematite. We open that bottom link and pop the one that we've just made, and close that.
So you end up with 4 hematites and a quartz.
With 4 hematites and a quartz.
Lovely.
Okay, so if you make 4 of those, okay, and then make 2 of a 5 hematite drop. Okay, so just one more hematite. So you've got 2 4s and a central 5. That's for one side of your necklace. Then the other side of the necklace, you've got exactly the same again. So that's 4 of 4 and 2 of 5. Okay, so those are the chains that are dangling in the centre.
Fantastic.
And then the next thing I made were if you see these little dangles here, these little charm dangles, that's the labradorite. Yay. And the labradorite again. Okay, they're gorgeous, those rondelles are. So now, because this is really high-end gemstone, these large labradorite nuggets, very high-end gemstone, then basically can you say the word the person who cuts them? The
lapidurist?
Yes, the lapidurist tends to like to cut them with quite small holes through the gemstone. So I've used, to make my head eye pins, I've used 0.025 silver plated copper wire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So just take a length of it and then pop it through.
And what's so lovely about you using these large nuggets, Linda, is the fact that every single strand that you get at home is going to be different to the strand that Linda's using.
Absolutely.
All completely unique.
Exactly. So thread on one of the nuggets, and then on the end, just go down probably about an inch and make a wrapped loop, as I've just shown you, on the chain, Just twist it around.
Lovely. So that's 0.25 millimetre gauge wire.
0.25 millimetre
yeah,
wire. It's just, it gives you a little bit, it's strong. It'll stay exactly where you want it, but it gives it a little bit more freedom, I find. Let the labradorite just drop down to where you've made the wrapped loop.
Lovely.
Okay. And then do exactly the same thing again. Pop your round nose pliers in. Do exactly the same thing again, but this time on top of the gemstone.
Okay, lovely.
Just wind it around, and then again.
It's a nice feature using the wire, isn't it? It gives you that bit of texture as well.
Yeah, and because it's such fine wire, it's also not really in your face, if you know what I mean. It's delicate against a dramatic-looking gemstone.
Precisely, yes.
Okay. Now I want to put a little charm dangle onto the bottom of that. So take an eye pin, sorry, a head pin, that's the one with the little bobble on the end. And then if that won't go in to the gemstone, because some will and some won't, again, what we're going to do is a slight variation on what we've just done, but take your 0.25 silver wire and then just take the end, round nose pliers, and just coil back a little bit, call that your stopper. Okay, coil it back. The little coil that you've done, just twist it to one side, and that's going to act as a little stopper. Okay, pop that onto the gemstone, and then exactly the same thing again is round nose pliers, do the beginning of your wrapped loop, but when you're bringing it back, I'll just trim off the wire so it's a little bit easier to say. When you bring it back, don't complete it, and just pop that into the eye of the one that you've put on that previous nugget. Pop your round nose pliers back in and just perfect the wrapped loop. And that is one of 7 charms that we need to make. So we need to make 7 of those. I'm
just looking back through this Gems of Distinction strand you were talking about, and actually I'm finding quite a few that do go onto the silver head pins. You will find that there are some that don't go onto the head pins, so if they don't, by all means do the technique which Linda's just done, but some of them you'll find will actually go onto the head pins, so it is worth mentioning that.
Right. Okay. Do you mind if I just pop down and get some?
No, it's go. No, go for
it. Excuse me, Carol.
It's all right, lovely.
I got some out earlier, but it's disappeared.
Fantastic.
Right, using monofilament now, because again that gives you some sort of gentle yet strong stability, but very gentle for an organic looking piece. I mean, the beading thread is absolutely fine, but it will give you a little bit more support. And I wanted this to sort of be a dramatic piece, but with sort of what I call a bit of a gentle skeleton. Now take 7, of the large labradorite. Beautiful. Oh, this one's really golden. Oh, it's beautiful.
Stunning.
This one's got some amazing electric blues in it.
Oh, it's amazing. Every single one's different, isn't it?
It is. Different sizes, different qualities of a schiller, and just all builds up into such drama.
It really does.
It's amazing.
Ooh.
So, thread on 7 onto monofilament.
Okay.
Appreciate you can't really see the monofilament here.
That's okay.
But
that is the point of monofilament, really, isn't it? It's to be invisible.
It's supposed to be invisible. So if we thread on 7, and then what we need to do now is to come back, take the monofilament on one end. It doesn't matter whether it's the first one that you threaded on or the last one, as long as you take the opposite end, and thread back through the exit of the last gemstone. So where that exited, thread into and then pull through.
Oh, lovely.
So now we've got a little flower-shaped circle.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Then let me trim that off a little. What we need to do is prove an anchor point. So pop both of those threads of monofilament through a crimp bead. I often get asked about crimp beads and monofilament, and I quite honestly have never ever had a problem. So just treat it exactly the same way as you would do with beading thread. But if you are a little bit worried about it, when you've crimped the bead down, just pop a little bit of jewellery glue. So pop a jump ring then, after the crimp bead, pop a little jump ring on, okay, and then thread back through the crimp bead, okay, and when it finally comes through, there it is.
Lovely.
Pull it through, and then pull the crimp bead down to anchor your jump ring. And then just crimp it down.
Nice.
Again, if you want to put a little bit of glue there, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just crimp that down, trim off your excess. And then, let me get rid of that little bit of excess there. And then what we do then, at this point down here, we're just going to open a jump ring, and that's affected by just doing a short, sharp clip with your cutters, okay, and open the jump ring. If you've got jump rings that open, all well and good. And then just pop that in at a space. Whoop. Just pop that in to anchor in between one of the the bases of that, and then just close it back up again, okay? And then taking the jump ring again, okay, open it again in the same ways that you've just closed it in, exactly the same way. And then that labradorite chunk charm that you've made, pop that on, and then close up, getting inside, close up the jump ring, and then you've got the sort of backdrop of that centre.
Stunning.
Okay. Then it's a matter of putting together the necklace. So I'll talk my way a little bit of the way through using this example here. If there is anybody watching today that would like to make a piece of jewellery like this but hasn't attached a clasp yet, we start at the clasp end of the necklace and we cut 3 lengths of beading thread, okay? I won't necessarily make them all equal at the moment because
it's just for demonstration.
It's just for demonstration purposes, and I've got a mock-up anyway. So take 3 lengths of the beading thread and then running them parallel to each other. Okay, so just let them run parallel to one another, and then take a crimp bead. It's exactly the same technique as I've just shown you with the monofilament and the jump ring. Just pop all 3 through, okay, and then attach a toggle clasp. In this case, you do the other side exactly the same using the T-bar, but just pop all 3 strands into the hole on the toggle. I'm doing this left-handed, and then feed through, back, anchoring. You need only actually you don't have to take them all through. If you're finding it a little bit tight inside that crimp bead, upwards of 1 is fine, okay? And then, again, anchor down, okay, and trim off any excess. And then, when you've used crimp beads in a design, then please, to tidy that up, use the crimp bead covers.
Oh, they look beautiful.
Okay. And then it's a matter of, as on the necklace here, I started off at the clasp end. I'll talk you through this now, by just simply threading on 5 of the round labradorite, okay? And that's on all 3 strands. Then I separated the 3 strands and threaded 8 of the little cubes of hematite onto each separate strand. Then I brought them together with 1 of the round labradorites again. Then I separated again and put 2 labradorite on each of the 3 strands.
Oh, I see. So you brought the strands together here.
And then brought them again together there, pinched them together with another labradite, bringing all of the strands through. Then I separated the strands again, and there are 20, I put roughly 20, it's only an approximate 20 of the chips. Yeah. And then repetition again, right the way through to the hematite, and brought it together there. Now this is the point at which we are going to attach the pendant, okay? So let me just get rid of.
It's nice that you're making the pendant separately. It's nice that you're not kind of wrestling with lots of beading thread and having to make sure you've got that central piece.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So what I did now was I took the 3 strands, okay, and then on each strand I popped on a chunk of the beautiful large shards. I like the word shards.
Oh, they're amazing, aren't they?
So we have, now this is starting the chunk of the necklace, right? So we've got those 3 there. Then I took one of the chains, the 4 length, and popped it onto one.
Ah, okay.
Then I took a 5 and popped it onto one. Then I took the other 4 and popped that onto one.
So you're just popping it onto one of the strands?
Yes.
Ah,
yeah. So we're using all 3 strands again, separating them. And let me just close that up. That's slipping off because that didn't close up properly. Okay. So we're now getting all of those. We've got a 4, a 5 and a 4. There we go. And then...
And does it matter which order you do them?
No, it doesn't matter at all. It's purely organic. It's completely organic.
As long as you've got a 4, a 5
exactly,
and a 4.
4, a 5 and a 4, so that you have got one on each side that's slightly longer than the other. Bring those all up together into a real jumble. That's the only way I can explain it, is it's a real jumble. And then taking the charms that that we did earlier, I am then going back to putting all 3 through the one hole created by the wrapped loops. Okay, so put all 3 of those on that side, because we're doing half and half. So 3 of those, and then the next thing that we pop on is
the pendant,
big pendant dangle from the jump ring that we put on. Let that slide on, and then a mirror image again then is on all of the 3 strands. We're going to put the 3 of the lab charms that we made. So it's a complete mirror image again.
Lovely.
It's quite an organic look, but it is actually done quite symmetrically. And then again, separate strands and pop on the chains, the 4, the 5, the 4. Okay, let's get the 4 onto there. And then after that, bring together with 3 of the chunks, one on each. I
can't think of a better selection of gemstones to make a design like this with.
Well, they all work together. It's a really dramatic look.
Massively
but
so.
Still quite a dressy look.
Oh yes,
because
definitely.
Of the colours, I think. So bring all those 3 together again. Let it all... Sorry, let it all dangle together. Then as you come back up the neckline in a mirror image again, then you're going to pinch it together here with your round of labradite, and then a mirror image all the way up to the neckline. And then, as you can see from this one here, I've got a slightly different look again. Purely evolved from the fact that the gemstones are all slightly different shapes and sizes to the original one. So that's why it's so exciting.
So the one you've got, the one I've got here is even chunkier. It's even chunkier,
and more elongated because of just the sheer beauty of the cut of the gemstone.
Wow.
That's the beauty of working with dramatic gemstone for me. Every single solitary one, the next one I would do would work completely different, and they're all unique. Totally.
Isn't that fantastic? Now, really, the only other things which you need, which are things which you will have in your stash, are things like 0.25mm gauge wire, head pins, eye pins. But other than that, I mean, this is a remarkably simple piece to make, as long as As long as you do that little bit of planning, as long as you kind of
preparation,
make it these bits before you assemble it.
Yeah,
and it's just incredible. And isn't it amazing how we've watched Linda for the last 25 minutes or so, creating this incredible piece, assembling it together, and it looks so different to the piece on the bust. It just shows you, every single one of you who comes in to get this today, for that amazing price. Don't forget, there's 2 gems of distinction strands in there, another strand of labradorite, there's 4 strands of labradorite, a hematite strand, and your clear crackled quartz as well. And it would be $74.95. We've taken it down to $54.95. That's a saving of £20. And it just shows you that every single one of you is going to be getting different quality gemstones, different amounts of labradorescence as well. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And the great thing is, of course, is that all the labradorite's are completely natural. It hasn't been dyed.
It's all completely natural. It has Mother Nature made it. But I must let you know that this is probably a 1/5 of the gemstone.
Ah.
So you've got at least another 4 times the amount of gemstone.
Oh, goodness me, that's such a good point.
Certainly on the hematite and the labradorite chips and the rounds. I mean, I've gone a little bit gem heavy on the chunks, but you don't have to go that gem heavy if you don't want to. There's tons of rondelles, these gorgeous rondelles that I use for the charmed angles, and there's loads of the clear quartz left. So you have got at least, I would say you've got 3 of those necklaces.
Well, I'm just looking at this double strand of labradorite, and if I just hang that over there, you can see how much labradorite there is in this one strand.
I love that. I love that look with that on the
nice.
outside of it as well. Look at that going through the outside.
It does look lovely, doesn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that stunning? And you've used hardly any of these gems of distinction ones here.
No,
I mean, you're quite right. You could probably make this necklace again another 3 to 4 times.
Definitely.
Wow, it's just absolutely superb, isn't it? You could maybe make a bracelet. How would you adapt this for a bracelet, maybe?
Well, do exactly
Linda?
the same technique. Lessen probably the amount of chain and angles. Always, but sort of have an odd number. And certainly on the chain, have you know, you down to 3. Well, we've got 3 either side on there, but lessen the length slightly, unless you do like to have a large dangle, and just make that as a centre dangle near the clasp.
Ah.
Okay, because all bracelets, by the nature of being slightly heavier by the clasp, tend to slip around, so you might as well have your decoration by the clasp.
By the clasp, yes.
Because then all of your sort of drama will be there, where it's got its natural place.
I can imagine some beautiful little earrings, though. Obviously on a much smaller scale, but some beautiful little earrings being made in almost exactly the same way.
Definitely. With that, certainly with the gemstone chain, you can use that technique for lots and lots of things. If you like these opera length necklaces, opera length earrings, then you can make a stunning shoulder length chain and put one of the rondelles on each ending, as well as the faceted quartz. They would look stunning. You know, as a suite of jewellery, if you're going somewhere that's going to demand and it's an occasion, you've got a nice suite of jewellery that can work. I think
what you've created here, Linda, is I think one of the best designs possible for the gemstones you've got. The hematite's so reflective. The hematite has got such a beauty. I mean, just look at it working.
It's got this sort of natural sparkle, hasn't it? It
reflects the labradorescence you're getting from the labradorite. It's amazing how it's doing it, and you've set these in such a way that it's that every single gemstone is set at a different angle. So you get the labradorescence, and you get the luster, and you get the sparkle and brilliance from every single one of the gemstones. It's such a befitting piece of jewellery for all the gemstones. Look at that. Just gorgeous.
The labradorite is just amazing. I mean, because it's been cut in different ways, the rounds, the rondelles, and those big, amazing, dramatic nuggets. Because of the way that they've all been cut, they're all picking up the light in different ways, and I can see these electric blues bouncing off, and then I can see loads of gold bouncing off the bottom. So it's got a perfect Mother Nature colour match. It's going to work because we haven't messed around with it.
Gorgeous. And of course, please don't forget, included in this collection, there are 2 gems of distinction strands. That's really quite special, the fact that you've got 2 gems of distinction strands, and they're not small. These are big, chunky labradorite strands you're getting here. Linda, massive respect to you for learning how to sew labradorite. You kind of had to for this, really, to be honest, didn't you? You wouldn't have been able to get away with it, really. Thank you so much. As we've just discussed, this incredible collection can be formed into, obviously, necklaces, but bracelets and earrings, an entire suite of jewellery. And, you know, as Linda said, she's used maybe a fifth of the gemstones there are in this collection in this one piece. So there's loads more you can make from this. Linda, thank you so much. You've clearly really enjoyed working with these gemstones.
That is definitely a piece I would definitely wear.
Stunning. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you will have been inspired. Do get involved either on our free phone number or by getting involved on our website, JewelleryMaker.com. And if you want to add anything else to your order, just go for it. Thanks a lot, guys, and get making. Have fun.